The mountains of New Zealand, millions of acres of public land inhabited by some of the hardiest game animals from around the world. It's fair to say we have opportunities here others can only dream of experiencing. And in this film, we are spending 10 days exploring this wilderness in search for an old mountain relic. So if you're into the outdoors, hunting, hiking, tramping, exploring, this is going to be the video for you. So sit back, grab yourself a brew, chuck your feet up and enjoy this video. Come along with me for the ride. Welcome back to the channel, guys, and if you're new here, my name's Johnny. Today we've just missioned it up to the top of this mountain. It's the Raw. There's gonna be stags everywhere. We're just camped up at this tarn here and there's just deer prints going the whole way through. It's been quite a spooky, eerie sort of a walk in today. There's been stags roaring all around us so far, so I can't wait for it to clear up tomorrow, because the last 3-4 k's we walked for 6 hours. We're just claggy like this, just could not see much at all. So fingers crossed tomorrow morning we're going to pull the spotting scope out, glass these sides all around us. We're just in a wicked spot at this tarn at the top of the mountain pretty much, and we just got dockland all around us. It is going to be pristine. Just had a hot brew. Far out, there's just so much deer sign here. I should definitely be keeping my voice down a little bit, but heaps of green grass too. So this is probably a spot where they are going to come and feed and drink. So anyway, better warm back up and get a meal in me. Well, there we have it. Special fried rice deviled sausages in the hail, top of the mountain. Alright, so we've finally got all settled in the tent, and as you can hear, it's really hailing now, so we got out of there just in the nick of time, and dinner is served. Luna, wake up. It's an absolute pearler of a day today. Pretty frosty last night. The old tent's got a bit of ice on it, which is just melting. Got brekkie on the go now. Probably won't be wearing my gaiters this morning, unfortunately. They're frozen solid like a rock. Just walked about 400 meters from the campsite. And we're into some pretty unreal glassing here. Have a look at this for country. That is just unreal. Oh, well, that concludes the morning glassing. We've let out a couple of roars this morning as well, but nothing really responded. You can hear stags way off in the distance going crazy, but they're farmed ones, so. There goes our camp ducks, just flying off. So we're no more than 300 meters on the other side of camp now, and there's some pretty epic country here too, so some pretty awesome faces down here. The deer are moving around quite a lot in here, so it's just going to be a matter of finding them. Keep our eyes peeled. Right, so we just filled up our water at this bit of a muddy tarn here. Doesn't look the best water, but if we aren't going to boil it, we can get these little chlorine tabs. Pretty handy. Just smack that straight in there. Wait for 10 minutes, give it a wee bit of a shake, and we'll be away. Better safe than sorry, I suppose. Things off. Right, so just heading out for an afternoon mission. Probably try and be back by 5 or 6 and then go glass that real nice face at last light in the golden hour. Good bit of a deer wallow just down there. Time to head up over here and then over the next one as well. Glass down to a massive gut. We're in some prime glassing now. I'm going to pull the binos out, have a quick glass, the close stuff, and pull the spotting scope out, see what's about. There's got to be animals in here. It's not every day you see a dead stoat, and I actually saw an alive one today too, so I've seen 2 stoats, still haven't seen a deer. So we've just been glassing and spotted our first lot of animals. They're all down pretty low at the moment, there's just no feed up high, so We've sort of wasted our time coming to the top of the mountain. We could have just cruised around the bottom, but at least up here we've got a good vantage point to see and work out what's going on. Spotted a pretty good stag. I'm probably 4 years old, 5 maybe, but I'll chuck them on the screen so you guys can have a wee look at them anyway. So this stag we have here is the definition of trophy potential. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to go after him, but after evaluating him for a wee while, I decided he's only going to get better, and I'm sure someone will catch up with him in the next few years. Well, we left that stag just before go. I've got another one here that's definitely too young. This one's probably only 2 or 3 years old, but good to see them around. This one here's just by himself with no hinds. He's looking a little bit puzzled. There is a chance that there could be another stag down here somewhere, so I'm just gonna stick around, maybe let out a couple of roars. I might have a bit of fun with him, see if I can roar him in, see how close we can get him. He's 350 yards at the moment, so he's definitely an easy shot, but he's definitely not the one we're looking for. So hopefully, with a little bit of luck, we might be able to find that one we're after. Right, so that rounds up day 2. Pretty hopeful for tomorrow now. At least we've seen a couple of stags. Not quite the one we're after, but good to see them around. So I'm going to shoot back up to camp, get a feed in, and hit the hay, and get out fresh tomorrow morning. I'll probably actually come back down here first thing, I'm thinking. There's just so much good glassing here. I'm still pretty high up the mountain. Unfortunately, my GoPro decided it was going to delete all of the files for the second half of this trip, which is very unfortunate, but luckily my brother, his partner, and my good mate Shade were already on their way down south, so we're basically out of here and then straight back into the next mission. Oh well, welcome back to another video, guys. And if you're new here, I'm Johnny, and today we're heading in to the mountains for 2 nights. It's the middle of the Raw. We're in some pristine country here. This is like pretty much a game park in here once we get to where we're going to go, but it's public land, so we've got red stags and chamois in here. Hopefully we can find something. Joining me on this trip, we've got my brother Jens. G'day. Hopefully he gets himself a stag. We've got his partner Emily and the brother from another mother, Shade.
How's it going?
Today it's the middle of the Raw. We're in here for 2 nights. We're in the prime spot. This here is my Spot X, my favourite spot in the whole of Canterbury. So I'm very hopeful that we're going to get onto something good in here. It's not too far of a walk either. We've only got about 8 k's to walk to get to our spot, and then we're just right in the middle of it. How's that pet going, Jens?
Good.
Lucky you're in the Navy for 5 years, eh? Oh well, I know who's carrying the head and the meat out then. Hey?
Hardly.
Alright, so we've just got to our wee spot now. Now we've just got to look for somewhere to set up our tent. Find a wee flat area, right? What's it looking like down there, Shade?
Not too bad.
Not too bad, not too great. Surely there'll be something through here somewhere. Meant to be quite a bit of an easterly wind tomorrow, so would be good to be a wee bit sheltered. Perfect. Sleeping bags, this is our wee setup we've got going in here. Me and Slim in there, the MSR, the 2-man bush buck over here with Jens and Emily. Then we're going to pack up and go straight up over there, glass the last hours of the day and see if we can get onto a big stag. Hopefully they're roaring, hopefully we can hear them roaring as soon as we get up and over there. But we'll just sit around for a couple of hours, wait for that golden hour, then get over there. Here's our lunch, our wrap, a bit of cheese, a bit of salami. Slip that on there to fry that up, melt the cheese, cook it up quickly and we'll be away.
Looks like a TikTok hack, that thing.
Alright, so it's 3 o'clock in the arvo now. Just headed up above camp, just down there. That's where we are. I'm going to go up and over the top of here. Check down the other side, do a bit of glassing. The other 2 are chilling at camp for a bit. Jens might have had a big night last night, so he's pretty slow today. So we're going to shoot up there, have a glass. We've got them on the walkie-talkie anyway, so if we find something they might be interested in, we'll just radio them, whip them up there, and then get them into some action. So I'll pull the spotting scope up out there anyway. It's still a bit early to see heaps of animals around, but hopefully we can find some bedded and they start moving within the next hour or so. So we've literally just got up here. I set my spotting scope up and literally would have looked through it for 15 seconds. The very first spot I looked at, there's two hinds sitting right there. This is the spot X. There's definitely going to be a stag down there. So we'll probably get on the radio, tell Jens and Emily that we've found some deer. It's probably about 800 yards away right now. I will locate them, make sure there's a stag there, and we'll plan a stalk. They'll be getting up to feed in about an hour, hour and a half. So we've got so much more country to check out and make sure that there's not any closer that we're going to spook while we go down there for the stag. Alright, so we've just found the stag to those hinds. He's looking pretty good. Jens has never shot a red stag, so he's definitely going to be a pretty good respectable stag for him. He looks relatively old too, so we haven't had a real good look at him yet, but we'll put the camera on him anyway. You guys have a wee look as well. Hopefully we can get down there, roar him in pretty close, get a couple 100 yards shot away for Jens would be pretty ideal. Then we haven't got far to go back to camp. Pretty cozy. Sweet. I'm sure there'll be more though. Last time we came over here we saw 5 red stags that caliber, all just going for it at each other. So it's pretty wicked dock spot in here. Yeah, Jens, do you copy?
Yeah, copy over.
We've got a red stag here.
Whereabouts are you up on the saddle? You popped over the other side of it.
We're pretty much up the saddle right now. The stag actually looks quite old, bro. Had a good look at this stag and he's either 13 to 15 pointer sort of a thing. He's still 1.2 k's away, so we can't exactly work him out, but he looks pretty mint. So we're just having a really good look at this stag now, and he's definitely an older fella. He's got 4 on each side up the top, which is pretty cool. We're gonna get Jens up here, put a stalk on, maybe roar him if he's roaring. If he's not roaring, there's no point in us roaring. All that could do is probably just upset the whole thing and let him know where we are. What do you reckon? Shooter?
Yeah.
Right, so we've just let out a couple of roars. The stag's not liked it, so he's gathered up his hinds, sort of taken them away, which is what they'll often do if they don't want to fight. So me and Jens going to zip down there. Hopefully, I don't think they would have gone too. So it was pretty much at this point that we knew we'd made the wrong decision by trying to roar him. It was a 50-50 whether he was going to come towards us or run away. What he did was actually really clever. He ran back around, put his hinds in between us and him. So for us to get to him, we had to walk straight through all of his hinds and spook them. So it was pretty much a bit of a Hail Mary mission, getting straight down there to see if we could get any closer. He did have a fair bit of a canter on at the start, but once he got to his hinds, he calmed down a bit, so hopefully they're not too far away. So we've got 2 options here. We either pop down this gut here, go around to here and around to where he was seen, or we sidle around the ridge here to here, shoot down at him. We're going to go for the keeping the height and getting a better view of him. Hopefully it pays off for us. Alright, so I think we've really duffed that one. We've just come down and they've seen us and bolted. Oh well, definitely not the outcome we were hoping for, but still good learning. We might hold off on the roar for a bit longer next time. He was heading towards us anyway, so it was pretty silly of us to try and roar to speed him up, but it is what it is. We definitely weren't expecting him to bolt, but he's definitely a pretty clever old stag. I doubt he'll be back tomorrow. I highly doubt he'll be back tomorrow, but there's still plenty more country and there'll be plenty more stags around, so get back up here. We might pop over a couple of ridges and see what's around in the next gut. It's still a little wee way away from the golden hour, so still plenty of chance tonight for Jens to secure himself a stag. Anyway, let's get back up there. No more animals were seen that night, so it was back to camp for dinner. Right, it's the morning of day 2 now. We've got another beautiful day in front of us. Gonna get straight up to the top of here and then get over the saddle and have a look to see if we can see any more animals. Just leaving camp now. The others won't be too far behind me. I'm just going to get up there, pull the spotting scope out, work out what's going on, and then make a move from there. Hopefully that big old boy's come back. I highly doubt it, but you never know. You're like, all right, let's get going. So we've just got back up to our glassing spot. We've been looking everywhere, couldn't pick anything up. So we thought we'd let out a few roars, a younger stag roar, and all of a sudden we got something roaring back at us. But we still can't see it, but he's responding pretty much every single time we roar. So hopefully he's working his way up here. He seems pretty angry. So we've roared these couple stags all the way up to us. Just a couple of young fellas having a bit of a play fight. Pretty cool to see them out there though. They're pretty safe from us today though, so we're going to pack up and head out for the next mission. Oh well, we're just heading on out of here now. Jens is only with us for 1 or 2 nights, and because the weather's really average tomorrow, we're just going to head out this afternoon, get back and regather and get everything sorted. Me and Shade are going to be straight back into a different location, and hopefully we can find that big old donkey for him. Right guys, here we are carrying on our trip. The weather where we've just come from on the east coast of Canterbury is shocking. So we've found a good weather window here. So we're heading down to Twizel tonight. The weather here is unreal. So we've got 1 night here and then we're heading deep into the mountains, 4-wheel driving the whole way. I'm going to make it a bit easier on ourselves this time. Plan is catch a couple of salmon. Me and Shade both haven't caught a salmon yet. I'm a bit of an amateur fisherman and Shade's from the North Island, so he doesn't get a chance to catch any salmon. But we're going to head out there tonight to the local spot. We've got a bit of a tip from one of the locals, so we'll give it a go and try and see if we can bag ourselves a salmon for dinner. So we went down to the canal, chucked the rod in, and you would not believe what happened next. On Shade's second ever cast fishing for salmon, the cast went about 3 meters and he bagged himself a perfect little table salmon. Bro, that's going to be a perfect little eater. Cracked it, bro. So just when we thought all our luck was up, I chucked the rod in as well and managed to get my first salmon on as well. So I've been salmon fishing probably 20 or 30 times, and it was pretty good to finally get my first salmon. Wasn't quite as lucky as Shade, but this one was 37 centimeters, I think, and the other one was 34. Alrighty, so we've just started our trip. Already cracked ourselves some dinner, salmon each. Nice healthy salmon. Alright, let's get these in the bag and
On some ice.
get going. We managed to bag 1 salmon each, and that was plenty for us. So then we shot off to the campground, checked in, got a good rest, so we were up bright and early the next day to get back into it. Just going to do a quick little walk through here. It is a little bit dirty, so we'll just check it out, make sure there's no massive rocks or too deep on the other side. Woo, it's cold. So here we are, bashing the truck through a riverbed, trying to get it up to the hut that we're going to. We made sure we walked through all the river crossings and made sure everything was 100% safe to go through. So it took us about 3 hours to get to the hut, and it probably would have only taken about 5 hours to walk. So the old 4-wheel drive doesn't save you much time, but you can take all the luxuries with you. So we took the barbecue, chili bin, handful of beers, and all the good tucker as well. So away we went. Alrighty, so we've just made it to our hut for this raw trip. 4-wheel drived all the way in here, brought all the goodies, and it is perfect wee spot in here. I've been in here before, but not in the raw, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see what's around. We've already heard roars driving in up the valley. Pretty epic wee mission in. The rivers are definitely up a wee bit, but we made sure we walked through each one first, making sure it wasn't too dangerous for us with only one vehicle. We have some pretty epic hunting in front of us, so we'll just get set up, take everything out of the truck, get set up in this wee old hut here. Alright, so we're pretty much all set up at the hut now. Got the wee barbecue out here going. Got the chili bin here. The goodies in it. A couple of beers in there. Got a heap of food in this one. Looking good, nice and healthy. Got the boots there. We've got the setup going on in here. All our food and snacks. What have we got for lunch today? We're going to chuck that on the barbecue. Our salmon we caught. Perfect table salmon, that one. First ever meal on the brand new Weber. What a way to christen it. Freshly caught salmon up here in the mountains. Hours from civilization. Well, there's lunch sorted. Probably not the most appetizing looking meal, but as fresh as you can get it straight out of the water yesterday and onto the plate now. So I'm looking forward to hooking into this. I don't think I'm going to be able to eat it all, and Shay's not going to help me because he doesn't like salmon. Should be good. Get this in us and then go for a bit of a hunt. This salmon is so good. So tasty. Next one I'm definitely going to sashimi, have it raw. We got some soy sauce and crackers and cheese. So we had a good feed of salmon for lunch, and then we started hiking our way up a river about 5 or 6 k's up to an area where there is a decent amount of deer and normally plenty of tar. Some pretty fresh sign of the stag here. Been sharpening his antlers up. So hopefully he's not too far away from this area. We're heading up way up into tar country today. So we probably won't see any stags up there, but on our way back down when we come through this country again, there's a good chance we might hear them or see a stag. Let's make a move. So we've been up there glassing for about 45 minutes now, but the old tar just aren't playing the game today. We'll keep on looking and see what we can come up with. I'm sure in the next hour or so they'll start moving, but it's still pretty early on in the day, so give them a little bit more time. What do you reckon about these mountains, Slimbo? Pretty epic, eh? Alright, so I've just finished up our glassing session up here looking for tar. A little bit unsuccessful. The tar were a hell of a lot higher than we were expecting. So the tar have just all started moving and they are way up here, up in the snow. So we're at about 1300 meters altitude here, which is generally where you'll see tar come down to feed, and they'll be bedded sort of 1500 or whatever, but these ones here are bedded about 2500. That's the main divide to the west coast up there, and they are way up there. It's just been Easter weekend. There is a few footprints from a few hunters in here. Could have pushed them up a wee bit higher as well, but there's a lot of feed up high at this time of the year as well, so they're probably just up there feeding anyway. So we're going to head down here back to the bush edge. It's going to be prime time for deer when we get down there, so fingers crossed. We've got a roaring stag on the go. Right, let's get down there. Wouldn't want to go off there. So we knew this area was a pretty popular area for hunters, but we just didn't realise how popular it was. So we got back to the hut that evening and there was already another couple of hunters floating around. So we decided to make the bold move to pack up and head to another location. We saw 17 vehicles on our drive out of this area, which was insane. Alright guys, we're back at it. Me and Shady Boy. She's a hot, sweaty day today. Very sweaty and sticky, so we're heading into the mountains. We're putting the hard yards in this mission. We're just going to go deep, go hard, walking in 3 or 4 hours, setting ourselves up in an area where I know that there's deer also. So hopefully put the hard yards in, get the result we're after. We're in for 1 or 2 nights. We haven't brought a heap of food, so if we shoot something, it's better stay in a little bit longer. We'll see how we get on. Right, let's get into it. Alright, so we're just waiting for the sun to set behind this hill. Then we're going to go to our glassing area, which is about 500 metres that way. We're going to be able to see right down this gut and right up the valley behind this hill here. So hopefully we can pick up some animals and get Shady his first, oh no, second stag. Right, so we've just had a pretty cruisy afternoon. just chilling out at the camp. Got it all set up nicely now. The sun's starting to go down, so we're going to head straight up over here, about 500 meters away to a good glassing point, and we're going to glass down the valley, up the valley, and then if it's no good, we're going to trek right up the valley, K and a half maybe. We've got about 2.5 hours of sunlight left, so we'll just cruise, take our time, see if we can spot some animals. There's going to be tar, chamois and deer in here. Obviously the main focus is red stags. Alright, so we've spotted our first couple of deer now. Spiker and a yearling up there, pretty much the head of the valley. So we'll just keep browsing from down here. Hopefully we can pick up a stag, but it's a good start to spot some animals. The action's starting now. Just spotted a couple of hinds and a stag way up high. They're right up there, probably, oh, they'd be 2 k's away. I could range it, my rangefinder probably won't pick it up. It's probably not going to be possible tonight, but the animals are just starting to show themselves now, so it's looking pretty good. We've seen five animals now, so we'll keep our eyes peeled and see what else we can find. Alright, so I've just had a good look at this stag. He's about 3 k's away. We're just going to work our way up closer to him now. There's a fair bit of sun here now too, so pick up. That's a pig sign. Right, we'll get up to this square up here. We are just peeling up this ridge. Holy shit. So at this point here we were running out of daylight and we were running up pretty quickly, so we had to beeline it straight up the mountain as quickly as we could. In this film here we're about 100 meters away from where the stag is, so we'll just quickly zip up here behind this rock, let out a couple of roars, and the stag comes screaming straight down at us. Oh well, you got him down, Shady boy?
Yeah, bro.
Look at the brow tines on it. It's a wicked even stag, man.
Fucking worked hard for it.
Yeah, we definitely left it to the last minute. Yeah. Probably only had about, what, 15 minutes of shooting light left?
If that, eh?
If that. Rabbed. Got him, roared him on his way down. He was screaming down the hill at us, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Then he stopped and looked at us for a while and just shot him front on straight in the chest.
Nah, stoked, eh?
Shot, bro. Wicked, 230 yards. Perfect shot. Yeah, dropped him on the spot. Nice even 10-pointer.
You beauty.
Perfect. We'll be right with that. That's a new PB, definitely.
Oh, definitely, bro.
Wicked.
Worked hard for
Mountain
it anyway.
top stag. Now we've got about a 3k walk back down to the campsite. Cook up some dinner. Alrighty, so that sums up a pretty epic 6 nights in the mountains, 10 days. Covered hundreds of kilometers, caught a couple of salmon even. Now we're just heading back out. Cheers heaps for watching the video, guys. And if you want to see more content like this, hit that like button and subscribe if you want. Cool, guys. Catch you later on the next one. Woo!